Hello everybody, very good morning to you all. Today we are here in Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of the Philippines celebrating Titi Puja, birthday of Swami Vivekananda, the founder of Ramakrishna Math Mission, a man who was a prophet and a revolutionary monk who has lot of immense contribution to this modern world. We are yet to recognize his contribution, but I am sure by remembering his teaching on his birthday and continue to think about his wisdom, the preachings and the talk, we will get inspired and improve ourselves and make this society better. So today in the Ramakrishna Vedanta Society, in face-to-face meeting, we will have some vesper service and some talk where we will remember the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, and we will have some devotional song. So let us begin. I hope these people during this time will try to remember Swamiji and try to follow what he has preached to the humanity. There are many great lessons to be learned from him.
Oh
Before starting the talk, Namaste Atirajaya Vivekananda Suraya Satya Sukha Swarupaya Swami Udaaranandaji. Today, as you know, we are here to celebrate Titi Puja of Swami Vivekananda, the founder of Ramakrishna Math Mission and the chief disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. You know, Sri Ramakrishna during his last days, Sri Ramakrishna during his last days told Narendranath, the young boy, that wherever you will take me, I will be there, and put me, I will be there. So, and another thing is, by giving ochre clothes to 12 of his disciples, he actually, Sri Ramakrishna, who founded the foundation of the Ramakrishna Math Mission. So, we believe that this holy structure, the Ramakrishna Math Mission, is the body of Sri Ramakrishna. But because it is founded by Swami Vivekananda, and at the same time, it was he who said that that Sri Ramakrishna also assured that I will be there. So we believe that this is not a mere physical structure or an organization as we understand, but it is a form of Sri Ramakrishna. We believe and have faith in it. You see, many people ask me why you are here in doing in Philippines when there are no devotees. So, one of the most important teachings of Swami Vivekananda was unquestioned obedience to the Guru. You believe in Guru and obey whatever you say. You don't ask reason why I am in Manila, why there are no devotees coming, why it is like this, why I am celebrating Titi Puja in morning, why. We are not to reason. So I am reminded of a few lines as I was telling. Ours is not to reason why, but ours is to do and die. As a soldier of Swami Vivekananda, soldier of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to follow whatever they have taught. And since it is the order, the physical body or the real Sarupa of Sri Ramakrishna has sent me to Philippines, my duty is to stay as long as I can and do the best as I can. So not to think about the result. That is our essence of Vedanta also. We should not think about the result, whether people are there or not, whether I am a success or failure or not. I will continue to endeavor. Yes, it is very disappointing at times. Sometimes I do cry and do suffer, but nevertheless, as a soldier of Swami Vivekananda, I will continue. And that is what Swamiji wanted. Whatever he decided, go there and do. We are not to ask why you are sending me there, why it is like this, why it is like that. No, in Ramakrishna Mission, it is like an army where we follow the words of a leader. So now, since we are celebrating Titi Puja of Swami Vivekananda, many things comes to my mind. Whether I talk about his life or I should talk about his contribution, because I keep on getting many suggestions that we have to talk about his life and how he led this life and where he was born, who was his father, who was his mother. So I have tried to make a comprehensive, including all those suggestions. But the foremost is, I think, what is the contribution of Swami Vivekananda to the today's world? So there are many contributions. His contribution to this world is immense. I have just compiled the foremost contribution. He introduced Indian philosophy of Vedanta and Yoga to the Western world and nay, to the whole world. Before that, world was ignorant at what Indian philosophy of Vedanta and Yoga means. So it was he, at so early in 18th century, he took all the teachings and spoke there. And that was the most important thing, is Indian philosophy of Vedanta and Yoga. That is, I think, is the most important contribution Swami Vivekananda made, that he took Vedanta and Yoga to the Western world. Second contribution is in the field of secularism. You see, there is a casteism. And just as I was going through, in South Africa also, I should not mention the country, there are 4 classes: white, the black, the color, and the Indian. 4 varnas in India, like in India it is there in South Africa also. All that racism exists all over the world, untouchable, this and that, this is pure, that is impure, things like that. And then secularism. Secularism, we are all talking and fighting, banging each other in the name of secularism. But he talked about secularism long time back. You see, that time he started the word of secularism. And then educational reforms. What should be our education? Welcome, please sit, we are continuing. So what should be our real education? It is man-making, character building. It is not doing some engineering or some medical science or something like that. What education he preached was man-making and character building education. That is why, and then socialism. He was a socialist of the first time. Not only we know some Karl Marx or Badam or things like that, but he was also a socialist. Swami Vivekananda, the first religious monk who spoke on socialism was Swami Vivekananda. And then woman empowerment. No one before that and no one after that. Now everybody talks about woman empowerment, but he was the first. He says a country who do not know how to worship their women, how to give respect to their women, cannot live for long. They will not sustain. Sustainability will fall if you really do not know how to worship women. He was first to talk of Gayatri and Maitri and all other things. And that is why Ramakrishna Mission is one of the first monastic order in the whole world where we have Sri Sharadamani as Sangha Janani, as a mother. Nowhere else woman is worshipped like that. Nowhere else. I cannot name religion and say that this is good or that is bad, because that will not be good to mention that this is not done. But I say what we have done. Instead of pointing what others are not doing, we can say what we have done for the upliftment of puja. Means we have placed her in the highest pedestal. Sri Ramakrishna worshipped her, and then Swami Vivekananda also worshipped her as Sangha Janani, and we regard and revere Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi as Sangha Janani. And Swami Vivekananda was so obedient and so respectful of mother that never once he disobeyed her. Whatever mother uttered, he like a child he will obey. So this woman empowerment is also his biggest contribution, even which the world has not yet recognized. We do not treat women with respect even now. It is only an object to take care of the family and children, something like that. It is a secondary thing. And how difficult is that? That also they do not know. What is the role of a housewife? People do not know. After doing household work here in Ramakrishna Mission for 6 years, now I know how I could not understand before what my mother did. Or that. Cleaning the house, feeding, how laborious is that? How day in and day out cooking for others and taking care of the household, it is difficult. But God, since He brought me here to Philippines, after I started working like that, now I realize how important role my mother played. But now I recognize and I revere her for her contribution in my life. So this woman empowerment also is very, very important. And then, as a Hindu spiritual leader and reformer in India, he attempted to combine Indian spirituality and material progress. You see, it is also a very, very important thing. When he went to West, he says the West is so organized, it is so particular, it is so nice. Unless you organize your life like that, Indian is not organized. They are religious, they are spiritual, but they are not organized. So he says that we should synchronize the two. The greatness of the Western world and the greatness of the spiritual world, it should combine, and then it will become one. So what he did is that Indian spirituality, if you combine it with Western material progress, means the science. You see, that time, 18th century, he thought that nobody had even the conception of combining. We always think that development is different from spirituality. We never equate them as same. but he was the first who said that if we equate these two, combine these two and make it complementary and not contradictory, we can progress. So, and then he talked of helping people. No monastic order. Monk means you go to jungle, do meditation and forget about the whole world. So, he was the first monk who said that we can help the society in three ways. How we can help? The physical help, like providing them food, education and things like that. That is the physical help. And second is intellectual, making them aware of their limitations. You see, as a people, we are not aware of our limitations. We think we are complete in ourselves. No, we have many limitations and we have to upgrade ourselves. You see, we upgrade our computer, we upgrade our phones, we want the latest version, but we don't want to upgrade our own self. You never see, it is the old version, 286 version still running. And the RAM is going powerless and hard disk is full of resentment. What kind of progress is that? If your whole life is full of resentment and complaint, then we don't upgrade. We have to delete. What we have to do? Delete and upgrade, and then keep in par with the society. That is also spirituality. Not only develop mentally, develop spiritually also. That is what he said. Third is the spiritual health. We should have a spiritual vision. As I told you earlier, this is a very important term in our life, spiritual. If you do not have spiritual, if we may have all the things, we have all the money in the world, all the success, but we cannot get happiness, because what happiness can bring is this spirituality. So he was the first to point out that we can help the society in three different ways. And then he was the first cultural ambassador. West was thinking we do not know what India is all about. Snake charmer and lot of money. So all the crusaders came and stole money. It is only a place where you can come and steal money and go away. Destroy this country. Nobody thought that we have, but unfortunately, you see, all these crusaders, Britishers, Mughals, they did not understand anything about the spirituality, which is the most richest of all. I was reading Galileo discovered these binoculars, but we have a temple 8,000 years back in Karnataka, which there is a picture of a binocular. We were very, very advanced, thousands and thousands of years we were advanced, but those people who came, they saw only the wealth, the money. They could not see our rich spiritual heritage, and that is what they missed. So that we are very unfortunate that they could not steal this. They wanted to destroy the religion aspect of it. They wanted to destroy our temples. They wanted to destroy our idols. But ideal, if they follow the principle they follow, they could not even understand. And that is why they could not destroy us. In spite of such a harsh and strong campaign, we could not be destroyed. We are still alive. Hinduism is still alive. Vedanta is still alive. So he was the first ambassador who took and presented the rich heritage of ours to the Western world. So that is his one of the contribution. And then another contribution is he showed that science and religions are not contradictory. Very, very important thing. We all think that I am a scientist, I am a developed person, so religion is something for a lower person to follow. Religion is something different. It is superstition. It is nothing. We are putting an arm, some bracelets, this and that. It is not our kind of religion. So he said religion and science are not contradictory. It is all complementary. If you are scientist, if you are religious, you can be a better scientist. If you are religious and then you study science, you can be a better scientist. Both ways, it goes both ways. So he was the first person who showed that science and religions are not contradictory but complementary. So, and of course we know one of the most important contribution is founded the Ramakrishna Math Mission to propagate the teachings of Ramakrishna and interpret many ancient Hindu scripture in context of modern world. It is not only the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, but if you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, he spoke what is there in the Upanishad and all our ancient scripture. Nothing, even Vivekananda, if you see, 9 volumes are there. If you read all of them, it is nothing but the scriptures. We call it Ishavasya Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, different names, 108 Upanishads are there. But they spoke the essence of all the Upanishad. This 9 volumes of Swami Vivekananda is nothing but the essence of the scripture. That is what he spoke. So, it is not only the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna spoke out of realization. He practiced all the religion, because during that time there was turmoil, Vaishnavas fighting the Shaivites, this and that. Even in Hinduism there was so much of contradiction. But he was the first person who practiced everything, and after practicing he said, I can vouch and say that all religion lead to the same goal. Apparently road may be different, but it all leads to the same goal. So by founding Ramakrishna Mission, and that is why the Ramakrishna Vedanta Society of Philippines has been found, so that we can have a more Catholic, more broader view for religion, so that we should not fight and become a better person and evolve ourselves. Those who need this kind of teaching only will come to this place. Those who are not into, unless you know sick, nobody goes to the hospital. Unless you feel that you need an upgradation, you will not go to a computer shop. You see, for upgrade. Once you feel that my life, in spite of having success, car and everything, it is not complete, I need something else, then you go in search, and once you go in search, Ramakrishna Mission is one such hub where you can get all the philosophies and all the interpretation and all the understanding that you need. And then, of course, he popularized yoga. Before that, nobody knows. Now everybody knows yoga. But most of the people who know about yoga is about the yoga, physical yoga. It is not the spirit. It is, yoga means union with God. Union with God means spirituality. Physical hatha yoga is only to make your body better. But it will not make you spiritually involved unless you try to have a union with God. So that is the essence of yoga, and that is what he preached. And naturally, Ramakrishna Math Mission is combination of 4 yogas: Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga and Raja Yoga. These are all complementary to each other, and according to the nature of the person, we can do the permutation and combination and come to a conclusion which one is suitable to me. And one can be follower of Karma Yoga, means he can continue to be a Karma Yoga alone, and one can be Bhakti Yoga also. There are so many options and combination of all this. So this is very, very important. And then he was the first out that social work should be done for benefit of people in the spirit of service. Never before any organization, Hindu organization or anywhere else, that spirit of service. We have many nowadays because of social responsibility. Many organizations have foundation and doing social work, donating. And in America there are so many, Bill Gates Foundation, this and that. But ours is in the spirit of service, that we are serving Jiva Jnana Jiva Seva. Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva. We are worshipping each individual as embodiment of God. So this is something very, very new. And then to revive Hindu social service like school, colleges and orphanages, we wanted to inculcate this, give this training to the, if we do not have access to the school, colleges, we cannot have this training especially. So that is why we have started the school, colleges and things like that, so that we can pass on this knowledge to the people. And then he attacked the caste problem and pointed out difference between caste, jati and varna of Hindu scriptures. Hinduism do not practice varna ashrama, dharma of Gita. Basically, he freed Hindu doctrines from his culture. Our cultural losing is this caste system. I am Brahmin, he is Shudra, this is that, and things like that. So he said that we have to get away with it. And still now, we see we are struggling. India is struggling, this whole world is struggling. Don't think it is the problem of India. Even in foreign countries, they say most of the prison you go, black are there. Black means criminal, and if you utter the word black, it is a controversial, they will put you in jail. But nevertheless, they do not give them respect. A woman also, we do not have a woman president in America. We don't know how many, some countries are coming. Unless and until we respect each as an individual, we cannot develop as a nation. We cannot. We have to respect everybody, and there is no, it should not be based, caste based. Definitely caste based. But it is all color based. In India, we are caste based, in other countries it is color based. You see, even still, if it is a white color, we are afraid of white color. As if it is a lack of pigmentation. If I am dark, how does it matter? But we are all afraid that white are greater than us, and they also assert that we are greater than you. This problem should go. Unless there is an equitable society, we cannot develop. So, and then whatever teaching he did, whatever is there, we have 9 volumes to read and understand what is his contribution to the world. And if we read it thoroughly and minutely every day, we will know that what was this contribution. And you see, many people do not know that he was a poet also, and he was a master of Sanskrit also. How many things he practiced, you know? How many things he practiced and did. A scholar, for an individual, that is why they say Swamiji was one of the Saptarishi. And Sri Ramakrishna will say that his Saptarishi means they are ever perfect. Saptarishi is a celestial bodies who come to this, who ascend to this world to teach, to tell people and evolve. So this is what the role of Saptarishi. And he was one of the Saptarishi, though it was not specifically mentioned who, but it is Sri Ramakrishna used to say that he is, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that he was Saptarishi. So that is why he was, otherwise how can, like that there is a story in Gujarat, he was borrowing encyclopedia every day, one volume. So that librarian says, are you mocking me? How you take that book and come back? Why do you want to harass me like that? You are borrowing so many. Are you reading? Well, yes, I am reading. Then he said, no, I doubt it. Well, you asked me anything. And he asked from all the volumes, anything you asked, even comma, full stop, everything he could utter and say. There, and it is not a very, it is a divine thing. There are many people with great IQ who said they can read 400 times, 300 times in this many minutes. And they can, there are people, normal people, you see, they can read very, very fast and understand and remember also. So, but Swami Vivekananda was one of the top in that remembering thing, and who can expound? If it was a normal human being, can a normal human being do something like that? It is very difficult. And now coming to our Ramakrishna Order's concept on religion. He told that all religions have same value and importance. In the Parliament of Religion, he told the Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist to become Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of others, but yet persevere his individuality, preserve his individuality and grow according to his own way of growth. Upon the banner of any religion soon be written, help, not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony, peace and not dissension. You see, this is talking in the parliamentary in 1893, that time he is talking about all these things. It's so exemplary, prophetic. Nobody can even thought that this is necessary. But after that World War came and so many things came. But if we had paid heed to this, this world would have become much better. And this religion, inter-religious warfare would have stopped. So this was also revolutionary. And you see 700 people getting up and clapping on their own is not a joke. Why will that happen? Spontaneously. A black man speaking in a very great orange attire, and he was little healthy also, and he is standing up and giving talk, and then before he, just after he said, brothers and sisters of America, it came from such a within that people were totally taken, and they all stand and for 2 minutes that continuous clapping. So many speakers, so many scholarly speakers were there in that forum, but nowhere they got this kind of reaction as Swami Vivekananda did. So that, and why he spoke also something very revolutionary. Though I do not know how many followed, we are yet to follow it here, but we should revise it again and again, remember it again and again so that we remember. So thus, through his universal religion, Vivekananda preached the unity of God. He told that though paths are different of different religions, but the goal is same. He attached great importance to unity of all religion and their fusion. You see, actually it is practiced in the teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. He says that we call it jal, we call it aqua, we call it water, it is all different, but it represents water only. So all religion, we say it is different, I am different, but ultimately we are talking of only one universal truth, because there cannot be two truths. It has to be one. So that is one thing. So then, and you see, he did not see any difference between Veda, Quran or Bible. Temple, mosque and church were all equal to him. He showed his toleration toward every religion. He spoke the message of Vedanta regarding the world unity, to believe the shapeless God. You see, we believe that we are all Atman, we are all part of that Brahman, that if you see that, there will be no contradiction. Apparently we have different physical body, we have different physical need, but ultimately we are part of that universal Brahman, that is one Brahman. We are all of that cosmic consciousness, as we call. We are as a small consciousness, part of this cosmic consciousness. And lastly, I would like to say socialism. Swami Vivekananda was socialist par excellence. No religious order before they talked of socialism. Once he himself has told, I am a socialist not because I think it is a perfect system, but a half a loaf is better than no bread. He had realized the plights of millions of hungry Indians. He thus stated, it is mockery to offer religion to a starving man. It is a height of religious. Nobody before ever talked of like this. We say it is your karma. Poor means it is your karma, so you are poor, and I am rich, my karma. I had good karma, so I became rich, you had a poor karma. No, we have to share. It has to be, at least if you cannot give full bread, half bread, because we cannot teach religion to a starving man. That is a very important thing. So now this is the essence is over. Now if you want me to continue, I can continue. This is house of Swami Vivekananda, where ancestral house is there. I can talk of this. What do you say? If it is a boring one, I can stop now. We can.
You can continue, and then we'll have devotional songs.
And that is there, but do you want
Later.
So, as we see this picture, it is the house where Swami Vivekananda was born. It is in Kolkata. I was in this house for 4 long years. Swamiji is still living. I told you about the story of the laborers, na? You know, the interesting thing is that the story was told by one of the monks there. The Muslim laborers were working there. So somehow they were dissatisfied with something and they wanted to leave. They thought when it was supervised by a monk and all things are there, we will leave, we no longer want to work here. So then they did not, because they are all Muslims, they did not go to temple and other things. So they wanted to leave. One man came in ochre cloth, shaven head, this and that, and said, "Where are you going and why are you going?" Though we don't talk of miracles or something like that, but I do not have any way to endorse whether this is a fact or a story or something, but it is very inspiring, so I am sharing it with you. Where are you going? They say, "We do not want to work here more and we want to go." So, but don't go. We need you here, and the work that you are doing, restoration work, cannot be done by ordinary people. So please stay. So they decided to stay. And then the next day, when the monk in charge came and said, "Why you are going away? What is happening?" They say, "We wanted to go, but we saw a man came like you, and he said that we should not go." Sirish, here I was telling a story of Swami Vivekananda's ancestral house. So here, because we were restoring, it was as it is to create the structure as it is. We were having laborers from Muslim community. They were working there, and then because of some reason or the other, they wanted to leave. When they decided to leave, one monk came and said, "Why you are leaving? Because the work you are doing is a specialized one, and it cannot be done by others. You should stay." And something like that he told, and there was some conversation, and they decided to stay. Next day, when the monk in charge came, and we were planning to leave, all of us, but somehow one of you came. Hello, who came? I did not come. I was not here. Who came? They could not. We did not ask the name. Then they were asking here and there who came, and then they saw the picture of Swamiji. He said he came. You see, at the temple is a living presence of God. Whether you want to believe this or not, whether it is a mere story or not, but I firmly believe that they are still in this body and still looking after us, taking care of us, guiding us all the time. So it is not a mere imagination or a theory which is we are practicing. It is. So this house is Swami Vivekananda's house. So what we were there, where I was also there for 4 long years, you know. So it was a very pleasant, very, very divine presence, feeling the divine presence. Now that this is the place he was born, and since one of my friend, and when we will send him the recording, he will ask whether have you told this or not. So his father name was Vishwanath Datta. He was an accomplished lawyer, and his mother was also Bhuvaneshwari Devi. Most important thing about Bhuvaneshwari Devi was she knew English. At that time when he was teaching also, she was very, 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 very devout, and all the lessons of history and of Ramayana, Mahabharata, whatever Swami Vivekananda, she was the one who taught. She was a very scholarly and very wise lady. And Vishwanath Datta also was a very, very generous man. You see, if we have a very generous, if parents are good, child will also be good. We do not understand this, but child is nothing but a reflection of his parents. As you say, I see my reflection in him. It is a reality. It is a reality. So he had such a devout parents that is why such a great child like Vivekananda was born. But he had 2 other brothers also, Bhupendranath Datta and Mahendranath Datta. They were also very, very scholarly, but unfortunately they did not come to limelight. They were very, very, and he has a sister called Swanami Devi. So 2 more brothers, 1 sister, and he was there. So this, even now Bhupendranath Datta, Mahendranath Datta room is there, and it is still in that Swamiji's house. So this is the house of Swami Vivekananda. Now, from a very young age, he was very, very generous, to the extent of irritation. When he will get whatever he will do, if a beggar comes there, whatever is there, he will give it to the beggar. Any dress, whatever is there. How many children at this age, at such a small age, will do something like this? Whatever dhoti want, they locked him up. This is a shore where he is locked into a room. In spite of that, whatever is there in that room, he will give it away. A very, very rare virtue from such a childhood, you know. Once you are a child, you know what he will grow up to be. See this kind of a compassion, and all his life he had the biggest thing he respected Buddha for was compassion, and he was equally as compassionate as Buddha. That loving nature that he had, there is no comparison, no comparison, no comparison. So that is one example of him. Meditation. Many young children are very restless. You know, children are very restless, and it is very difficult to control them, how to do things like that, and how you see that this is almost 99% are like this. But they used to place meditation. So once while they were meditating, a snake came. All others ran away, but he was the one who continued. So that yoga was shown in his life from very, very beginning, you know. And then this, you know, Hubble bubble, you know, it is a pipe you smoke. So since his father was a lawyer, many clients used to come, and they had Hubble bubble for everybody. For Christian one kind, for lower caste one kind, different kind of Hubble bubble. Because we cannot smoke from the same one. You have been to the household of Swami Vivekananda, you should go and visit there. So there are 4 kind different. So one day their father saw smoke coming out of the room. So he entered and said, "What you are doing?" "Well, I am trying to see whether my caste will go or not. Whether I will lose my caste by smoking some other Hubble bubble." Strange, is it not? Very, very strange. You see, such an inquisitive mind and inquiring, he will not accept anything just because it is theoretically practiced or tradition. He was questioning right from the childhood. He will question. This is one of the most remarkable quality that we see all through. When Ramakrishna also came, he kept on testing. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "Stupid, are you not convinced that I am this?" You know, Sri Ramakrishna during his last days in Kashipur, he was suffering so much. At that time, Swami Vivekananda was thinking, if he is an incarnation of Gavatar, why he is suffering so much? Immediately, Sri Ramakrishna got up and said, "You rascal, you don't know that how much I have to do to make you believe." And then the sickly man who could not even bend, he got up on his feet, and one was on Kalpataru Day, and one was that time that he got up on his feet and said, "You fellow, you do not, still now you do not believe that I am that." And then he said, "No, it was sudden that one who was Rama, and one who was Krishna in this life has come as Ramakrishna." So that checking, he will keep coin. Sri Ramakrishna could not touch coin, so he will keep a coin under the bed. So always that this trend continues, and he will not accept anything just like that. And we also should not accept just because somebody tells us that. And then this is something which we do not know the rare quality. He wrote a book, Sri Sangeet Kalpataru. Before becoming a monk, he wrote a book on music known as Kalpataru. So, and this is known as Sangeet Kalpataru. This is a compilation by Narendranath and Vaishnava Charan Prasad. This was first book. You see, before coming to Ramakrishna Order, becoming a monk and all these things, he had written a music. He was an exponent of music. He could play all the musical instruments, and he has written a book also, you see, composed. It is a compilation. So this is one of the books which Swami Vivekananda wrote as Narendranath. So now we are publishing it from our own Culture Institute of Culture.
Does it have any
Audio?
Link to 1st of January, Kalpataru?
No.
Nothing.
Coincidentally, he has named Wishful Tree of Music. It is coincidentally named as a book of Wishful Tree of Music, Sangeet Kalpataru. But it has no incident because that time he was not in touch with.
No, it is 1887.
No. Before becoming a monk. And that 87 Kalpataru we have defined afterwards.
Correct, but he wrote after meeting Ramakrishna.
No, what I am saying is this Kalpataru thing is not. He did not. It is not by Swamiji. And Shardananji also doesn't agree with Kalpataru thing. We do not say. He said self-revelation day. Kalpataru is not by Ramakrishna order, by devotees. Kalpataru means suddenly he is showering his blessing to all. But for Sharadananji, who wrote Great Master, he defines there as self-revelation where Sri Ramakrishna revealed himself to the people. So this is one of the very important. Swamiji did not come to Ramakrishna first. First he was in Brahmo Samaj. Because he did not believe in forms of God and goddesses, whatever was there, he did not believe in idol worship, things like that. All his life he was not a devotee, but at the same time, intense devotee, but not being a devotee. There cannot be a devotee more greater than Swami Vivekananda. At the same time, because he was following those, Brahmo Samaj was revolution. They believe in formless God and different things. So he was also, with Devendranath Tagore and Rishi Devendranath Tagore, many people were there, stalwarts were there involved in Brahmo Samaj. So he was also, all the elite of the Bengal people, Bengal culture were member of the Brahmo Samaj. He was also there. And that time a question came into his mind, whether God can be seen or not. He started asking people, have you seen God? Have you seen God? Who inquires about these things? But he was inquiring. When he went to Rishi Devendranath Tagore and asked, have you seen God? He said, he did not answer, but he says, you have eyes of a yogi. Swami Vivekananda's eyes were very bright and this. So you have eyes of a yogi, you will surely see. So as he was studying all these things, when asking people what to do, then when he was studying in a college, during that time, William Wordsworth's poem, The Excursion, there, while expressing trance, samadhi, they said that suggested that visit Ramakrishna of Dakshineshwar to understand, because Swamiji, Sri Ramakrishna was going now and then to trance. So you see, if you know, trance means samadhi. What is samadhi? You don't understand. If you want to understand this poem, why William S.T. tells him you should go, because if you understand one William Wordsworth poem, where he has written this about trance, mentioned, if you really don't want to understand, you have to go to Dakshineshwar. That is how he got the first inclination to go to Dakshineshwar while studying English. You see, he was studying English under the English professor. So he was, and he has written so many poems in English also. So that is how he first got to. This is the posture of Sri Ramakrishna Samadhi. When you go into Samadhi, this is the posture he takes. And somebody has to hold you when you do this, because he will fall. Then, but actually before Dakshineshwar, he met Sri Ramakrishna at Surendra Mitra's house, 1887. So, and then that question, the very important question that we were talking through, sir, have you seen God? And then, you know what Sri Ramakrishna answered? Yes, I have seen God, and I see Him as I see you here, only more clearly. Not only I see God, I see Him more clearly than I see you. And then one day he was telling me, I am associated with him, that I am not able to enjoy what is Nirvikalpa Samadhi or what is the vision this year. So Sri Ramakrishna need not be told everything what you need or what you do not. Simply while sitting there, he touched Swamiji with his feet. And as he touched him with his feet, he had that vision. And then he said, no, leave me. All of them who got their vision during Kalpataru, they could not hold on to that vision afterwards. They could not do it. So even Swamiji was also terrified when he got that vision, that everything is merging. You see, the hold on to vision is so difficult. So this is his relation with Sri Ramakrishna. So as master, both of them tested. Sri Ramakrishna also, when he was in a dire necessity, Swami Vivekananda, when we talk of his dire necessity, there was no food. No food means nothing to eat, and no job. And many days he will be empty stomach, and he will come and say that I have eaten outside, because there was no food there left for mother to eat. So he will say, I have eaten, you eat. Mother also knew, but there was nothing to be done. During these circumstances, he went to Sri Ramakrishna saying that please help me to get this. Ask for. He goes to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna says, go to Mother Kali and ask for a boon. But when he ended up, he could not say, give me money, give me success, give me job, give me something like that. He ended up asking, give me knowledge, give me devotion, discrimination and renunciation. You see, Sri Ramakrishna did not teach him directly, but told him, you go and ask yourself, I cannot bless you. That way, so Sri Ramakrishna also tested his disciple in many ways. Sometimes you see he ignored his presence altogether. He will not even acknowledge his presence, and then he asked, I am ignoring you for so many days, even then why you are still coming to me? Well, I come here because I love you, not because I seek your attention. So this was his disciple also was equally great as Guru. So if you have a disciple like this and teacher like that, magic happens, you know. So and then Sri Ramakrishna himself showed, this is a very, very famous, Sri Ramakrishna could not read and write. But here, first time he wrote that Narayan will teach the world. You know, God has special drawing, a special handwriting. He could not he was never went to school, but somehow he wrote this. And the meaning is, if you translate that, victory to Radha, love personified. Narayan will teach when traveling around. Will call outside India. You see, call outside. When he predicted that they will go outside, outside. The human head drawn by Sri Ramakrishna at the left corner is supposed to be Master himself with sword throat, and the peacock behind is said to be Narayan. You see that there is a head. He has drawn himself. Self-portrait. It looks like very childish, this, but it is prophetic. There, while he was suffering from cancer, he said that Narayan will go, and many imagine that he has prophesied that Narayan will go and teach the world, and then did Narayan America? He goes to America after 12 years. Jai Ram. Jai Radhe Premamoyi, Nayan Shikhe Deve, Ekhane Ghure Bahire Ho Dibe, Jai Radhe. Whether here or outside, he will go and preach, he will give knowledge. That when he is suffering intensely from cancer, he gives this prediction and he tells the world that Narayan will go. And Narayan, how can he predict? And he did go to America. Huh?
This is that some bird, na?
Peacock.
But peacock is Vivekananda, where peacock goes out to pray.
Where they took the monastic vow, and this is where Sri Ramakrishna gives ochre cloth to all of the disciples, 12 disciples, which was given by Buddha Gopal. So this is, and this all together who went to Atpur, they took the monastic vow on 24th August 1856, December. This is Balanagar, initial days of Balanagar Math. Imagine when we, after Sri Ramakrishna's death, this is our first monastery, all of them. They did not have a dress also. One is only in Kopina. So, such a pitiable condition, no food, nothing. Very, very hard life, very, very hard life. Hardly they had enough for sustenance. Because devotees said, we were not supposed to pay for you. We were not asked to give any money, and this is not we are asking you. Go back home. Devotees said, we will not support you. Then we started Ramakrishna, and then onwards, though devotee give, but yet on principle we don't depend on devotees. So it is like that. If you depend on somebody, this will happen. So they will not give you. So this is the first picture. This is how Ramakrishna Math, and it has become now a worldwide center. So many centers all over the world. More than 250 centers. 60 centers we have in Ramakrishna.
These are now the 16 disciples.
These are 16 disciples.
So who are they?
The names are there, but this one is Kali, this one is Kali. So this is not a disciple. This is
12.
this one is not a monk. All others. This is Swami Vivekananda. This is also not a monk. So I had the list. I did not take it. So this is. Then after Sri Ramakrishna, he started moving all around the world. So I am giving a glimpse of Swami Vivekananda's life. He was a young boy, how he was. Then he grew up, he came in association with Sri Ramakrishna. So that you will say that, and he was born in northern part of Calcutta, and most of them come from northern, Raja Maharaj and others, they all come from that part of. Raja Maharaj was Shitrakulingan, little further away, but many were there in that northern part of Calcutta where Sri Ramakrishna also visited Swamiji's house. When he came and he was calling Naren, mother would get very angry that this Pagla Brahmin has made my son crazy. I don't want to do anything with him. She did not like the Pagla. So that is also a very important story. So after that, he travelled from Kashmir, from top of India to all the part of India for 12 long years. He carried out a Parivraj for Parivrajaka. Walking. And there are so many incidents happening in that Parivrajaka life. He meets different kind of people during Parivrajaka, and one of the very important incidents that here you see that this is a very famous story. Well, about image worship. This story is about image worship. When he was going to Raja of Khetri, his minister said, why you want to worship image? Then he said, okay, Swamiji, without, he was a great intellectual giant. So he said, there is a picture of your king. You bring it down. They brought it down and then they said, spit on it. Well, how can we spit on it? It is, but you know, it is a picture, it is a paper, it is a glass frame, and why do you want to worship this? How do you worship? This is not the king. Well, no, we respect him as much as we respect the king. Well, the same is with us. We respect the God in image as much as we respect the real God. This is why we worship image, because we see the image, the real God, not an imagination. As you see your God as your own picture. You see, you respect your own picture. You cannot, your son will say, you can go and spit on my picture. Because you love and respect that picture, is it not? That is why he said we love and respect God in picture. Whereas in most part of all religion, we do not want idol worship, but we believe because we see God in those images. We see Sri Ramakrishna for real. It is not for that joke we have offered, this chicken and all those things, whatever food that we see. It is for real, that is why we worship this. So this is a very important incident. So some important incident as a Parivrajaka. And then he goes to, while he was in Khetri, there was, because all the king's prostitutes used to come and sing of lower fame, ill fame. Because I was told it is very blasphemous to audit it. Someone said monk should not utter the word prostitute. So modified English is lady of ill fame will sing. So when the lady of ill fame was going to sing, Swami Vivekananda said, I should not leave. Then she sang which became a very, very important song of Ramakrishna Order, Prabhu mere avaguna chitana dharo. Please, oh Lord, don't look into my Samadarshi, because it is a very, very important, because it teaches Swami Vivekananda. You see, Samadarshi, you should look everyone as equal. So according to your eyes, there is no saint, there is no sinner. So why do you look in fault in me? That is why I say, oh Prabhu, mere avagan, don't find fault with me. An ordinary woman of ill fame, and then Swami Vivekananda, because he was a fast learner. We have to be very fast learner. We have to learn from everything. We are always closed, we don't want to learn, we don't want to open up to suggestions. Every time somebody speaks, we feel that our entity has been challenged. So, he says, Prabhu mere avaguna chitana dharo, and then he realizes and come back and then he makes pranam also, give respect to that lady also.
But this song is already there, na? In our
This song, that is why we came to our song, it became Prabhu mere avaguna chitana dharo.
This is already exists, na? Maybe Meera from...
Mirabai, yes.
Yeah,
Before.
yeah.
It is not an order written by Ramakrishna Order, it is before that. Then finally we see that it was in Kanyakumari, and where he sits in the rock, and then he gets a vision that Sri Ramakrishna is going away in front, walking in the ocean, and that was his message that he has to go to preach in the West. And that time, coincidentally, the Parliament of Religion in America was going to happen. So that is how, and it was a Tamil devotee, Alasinga Perumal, who collected the money and gave him money so that he can go to. This is where he meditated in Kanyakumari. It is called Rock Memorial even now. It is a very, very famous place in Kerala. And there he swam, and there is a rock. And now it has been declared as Rock Memorial, and it is run by Vivekananda Kanyakumari Institute, which is not a part of Ramakrishna, but it is mentioned. And all over Rahul Gandhi also there, this doctor has started there, they went to make pronouns to that place. It is a very well respected. Here he, while sitting for 3 days, he sat on that rock and he got a vision that he has to go to West and preach. Now 1893 Parliament of Religion. As I told you, I started with that Parliament of Religion. He goes there, he was so innocent also, he was intellectual giant, without understanding that I need a paperwork, I have to do what. His disciple told Alasinga Perumal, you go, and he went there. And suddenly, when he came there, he realized that in Parliament of Religion, we need credential to attend it. So while he was speaking, and because he started giving speeches and talking here and there, so one of the very important professor right in the West to exclaim, he said, to ask you Swami for credential is asking the sun to state its right to shine. You see, the professor was acquainted with many religions, and then what a exemplary certificate he gives. To ask you, Swami, for credential is asking the sun to state his rights to shine. A Western professor, a white man, giving such a credential to Sri Ram, because he could not, without any credential or recognition or certificate or a paper of introduction, he could not do that. He said, who will need? You already are fit to do. So that is what he says. And then, while writing, he says, here is the man who is more learned than all our learned professors put together. What a certificate. Imagine, to an Indian man, that time when there in the British, in America, they used to write dogs and Negroes and outside. This is all, it is such a height of racism. There he says, here is a man who is more, giving a letter of introduction, it is written, here is the man who is more learned than all our learned professors put together. Such was Vivekananda, you see. During that time it was a charismatic personality, overwhelming. Once you see him, he will overpower you. There is no other way out. There is absolutely no other way out but to get impressed. This is the picture of Parliament. This is for real. You example, how many people were there? And Swami Vivekananda firstly hesitated to speak there. He could not. He was afraid. He will say later. But finally said, Swami, there is no more choice. You have to speak now. When he got up, brothers and sisters of America, 2 minutes clap continuously. People stood up on their feet without any this, and everybody was clapping. They did not know why. And the speech that he gave became a historic speech ever given in Parliament of Religion in this. Even America, they have this place recorded and they have the speech embedded there. So it is a very, very famous speech, and we have read so many times in our WhatsApp University. If you ever read, of course it is blue tick, and blue tick also doesn't mean anything. Whether we read it or not, we do not know. But this is a picture of Parliament of Religion. And 18th century, a man with no such background, this ordinary monk with no money, traveling there. Imagine, it is very, very hard to, without any money, without any back power, going there and here at least I have Oed and Arlen, so many people to take care. So this is a Parliament of Religion. This is all the speakers. Then after coming back, another lectures which has become very famous is lectures from Colombo to Almora. Anyway, now since time I have given too many things already spoken, I will stop, and let us hope and pray that may Swami Vivekananda guide us through all this and make us a better person, so that we can serve the society better. Not for our own self, but so that we become true instrument in serving this society. Om Shanti 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 He Hari Om Tassat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
So we have devotional song now.
Yes.
One song will do now.
No. No attention span.
Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Surya Satchid Sukha Swarupaya Swami Janani Saradam Ramakrishna Jagadguru Padakadame Tayo Sritva Pranamami Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasya स्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते समाधिस्थ शिव स्वलोके निर्भरं समाधिस्थ शिव स्वलोके निर्भरं जनानां क्रन्दनात् भवाग्नौ भीषणे प्रदग्धानां प्रबोधितस्त्वम् आगत विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि नरेन्द्र शैशवे नरेन्द्रो यौवने नरेन्द्र क्रीडने नरेन्द्र शिक्षणे नरेन्द्र पालने नरेन्द्रो ह्यर्पणे विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि हरीन्द्रश्चेष्टितै कलाग्नो गायनै परिज्ञानैर्बुधो महर्षि दर्शनै यतीन्द्रो सक्तभिर्भवान् यन्नास्ति किं विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि मोक्षादर्शिता हृहंसं भावनै विनैका पादुकां नितान्तोन्मत्तवत् समानां देहि मे मुमुक्षां मद्गुरु विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि गुरोरङ्घ्रयुक्तफले स्वमात्मानन्ददौ परीक्ष्यानन्तरं बहुप्रश्नैर्भृशं विशुद्धै सेवनै भवांस्तं विप्रिय तदै प्रसूनं प्रावृतं तवार्थं कोकिलो मनोभं पूजति विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि उषःकाले परे नमस्कृत्याशिषा लभेरन् धन्यताम् इति श्रद्धालव समेत सम्मुखे ददेथा दर्शनं विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि 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 विवेकानन्दते प्रभाते प्राञ्जलि.
So we conclusion. Now we will all request you to have this small lunch prasad. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you all. Thank you very much. And let us hope that everybody will try to read and learn from Swami Vivekananda how to make our life better and better and better without losing your identity, because it is not a religious thing. It is a practical principles that is to be followed. Whatever you are doing, you will do it in a better way. So thank you very much once again. Thank you. No, how about 20 minutes?
2 hours and 5 minutes, like 2 hours.
No, 1 hour 20 minutes.
1 hour.